growing up and maturing is realizing that you can do whatever you want. Yo, what's good, family? It's your boy MJ here at MJ the Greatest on all platforms. Back with this week's episode. Huge shout out to y'all. We got over 100 subscribers. Thank y'all so much. Keep liking, commenting, subscribing. Keep showing love however you show love. I'm always gonna shout y'all out and appreciate y'all, because y'all are a big reason why I keep going, man. I say y'all every single time. If it wasn't for y'all, I might still be doing this because I like doing it, but y'all definitely make it fun to come on here, man. I'll be missing y'all for real. So let's just get right into it. The topic of this week's episode, of this week's video, the title is barriers to entry are fake. They're not real. And this is such a dope topic to me because I feel like this is something that, like, everybody, I don't care what you do, who you are, like, I feel like everybody needs to hear this, right? You can do whatever you want. And I literally mean that in the most literal sense possible. You can do whatever it is you want to do. Whatever craft, whatever task, whatever job, whatever skill, you can do it, right? I've been saying this a lot, but like, we've been like programmed and trained to think in these certain ways that we have to follow this set order of steps in order to get things done. And I always like this saying of, like, there's more than one way to string a guitar, right? Because there's always more than one way to do anything. I don't use the word hate, but like, that's just like, I'm close to using it when it's like people think that you have to follow some certain step-by-step path in order to get to a certain destination. The truth of the matter is, none of our paths are the same, because none of us are the same. We're all different. We all grew up with different natures and nurtures, different environments, different DNA structures, different everything, you know what I'm saying? While there are many things that make us way more alike than we are different, those individualities are gonna ensure that none of our paths are the same one, right? But at the same time, we can give advice, we can share, we can, you know, tell people what we've gone through. But I've never been the type of person to try to tell a person, like, the only way you'll get to point A from point B is if you do this exact, because I know that's just not how it works, right? I talked about this before, like working out. Just because I work out a certain way and I get these results, I could give my same method to somebody and it doesn't mean that it's gonna work out that way for them, right? So it's like, you kind of gotta find your own secret sauce. Now, you can take you can take the framework, but at the end of the day, you gotta put in what's you. You know what I'm saying? You can't put in what the next person did or take from, you know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, you have to find you in it, right? And the best way to do that is just to start, right? I've been talking to y'all about recently about how I've been doing stand-up comedy the past like 2 months now. And so I have my friend, since we started together, we always like make sure we record our sets and everything like that, just to make sure we have them for safekeeping, or just to know how, like, what we want to brush up on. And I was just looking the other day, I have now a total of 10 minutes of being on stage doing stand-up. If you would have told me this 2 months ago, 3 months ago, let alone last year, I would have literally laughed in your face, because I'm like, I'm not a comic, I'm not a comedian. And after this most recent time that I had got on stage, I was just, at the venue and ever talking to a few people, and me and this guy was having a conversation, and he was just like, he just asked me, he's like, oh, are you a comedian? Are you a comedian? And I was like, you know what? Yeah. Like, yeah, I am, like, I don't have any plans on stopping. I know I haven't done like a million shows, or like, I haven't even gotten paid for a show yet at this point, right? But like, why do we sometimes have it in our mind that we have to achieve this certain level of thing before we can claim something as ours, right? Like, I'm a writer. Like, for me, like, so with stand-up, there's a bunch of different ways like people can make people laugh, right? Just like in real life, you can make people laugh. Me, I like actually writing. Like, I like writing jokes, and like that is fun for me. So like, I'm a writer, right? I've been telling y'all I've been working on a book. I'm a writer. Once that book is published, then I'm an author, right? I don't have to wait for like, is it on the top 10 most selling best-selling books, or is it on the like Oprah's list or anything? Like, once you do something, like it's okay for you to say that you did it, right? Once you draw a sketch and an image and you paint it and you post that on your Instagram, you're an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be so rigid of like, no, you must have a showcase and the museum must see your critic and the critics must come and say that you're 5 stars. Like, no, right? If you got a food business and you make super good food and you sell it or you give it to your people, you're a chef, right? Like, it doesn't have to be like these titles and these like barriers to entry that people try to make up. I'm just coming to tell you they ain't real. They're not real. You can literally do whatever you want in this world, right? And nobody can stop you. They can say a lot. They could talk a whole lot, but they can't stop you, right? Like, nobody can tell me that I'm not a comedian, because I'm doing the work, right? Like, obviously I can't just stop here and be like, I did it, but like, I'm doing the work. Nobody can tell me I'm not an artist. I'm actively living in it. I'm actively doing the work. Nobody can tell me I'm not a writer. Nobody can tell me I'm not an author, right? As long as you're doing the work, you're actively doing the thing, who can tell you that you're not that? Can't nobody tell you that you're not that. You're that. Whatever you think you are, right? One of my favorite sayings, y'all know I'll be hitting y'all with sayings. One of my favorite sayings ever applicable to any situation is, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, whichever one you think, you're right. And I think you can. I think you can. I just think there hasn't been enough of these messages or just enough of these confirmations to let you know, F the gatekeepers. You can bypass them. I experience it so much in like every type of, like, I talked to y'all before about like how I had an experience with like a sewing teacher, and I felt like he was just kind of like had it out for me in a way, or like kind of was just kind of like trying to force me out of the space, I don't know, like I don't know, you know, I don't know. I don't try to look into people's intentions to why they do certain stuff or why they act a certain way. I just show up as myself, and it is what it is, right? But even when doing stand-up, right, like I feel like I've encountered energy of people like, oh, he's not really real because I've been doing this for 8 years, so you just starting out. It's like, everybody had to just start out, right? Nobody was born a pro at anything. Everybody had to just start out at something, right? I was just talking, literally yesterday, I was just talking to my friend because he was talking about growing his hair. And he was like, man, I kind of don't want to go through the phase of like looking like crazy, because, you know, like this length has to go out to this and equal out to that. And I'm like, bro, like everybody had to start somewhere, right? Because our other friend, he has like really nice dreadlocks. And I'm like, even him, like he had to start at a point where we all know, like you go through that phase where it's like they look like not good, or they look ugly, or they look small and they not, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, everybody, no matter what it is that you do, everybody had to start at something. Everybody had to start somewhere. Everybody had to pick a day to say, you know what? I don't care. I'm starting now. And once I do the thing, I'm in there, right? I just seen something probably like last week. This guy was a mechanic for 50 years of his life, and then just decided, okay, I want to be a doctor. Like 3 or 4 years later, he was a whole doctor. So he had literally went from being a mechanic his entire 50 years of his life, or, you know, 40 or 30, whatever, then decided to say, you know what? I want to be a doctor. I want to do that too. Started doing the work, and guess what? Now he's a doctor, but he's also a mechanic. If he wanted to go do something else, he could pick that up and also add that to his belt, right? Like, you don't have to stick to this thing or this like mindset or like program of like, oh, I must follow these certain steps in order to get. You don't have to do. You can do whatever you want. You can literally do whatever you want. And I just feel like this is a great place to stop, because that is the main purpose of this episode, is to let you know you can do whatever you want. There are no barriers to entry. If you want to do it, start it. And once you do the thing, you're that person, right? You don't have to wait on anybody to validate you. You don't have to wait to anybody to stamp you. That might feel good, right? It feels good when people acknowledge what I'm doing and they say it's good, right? But you got to recognize, just as many people are going to come to you and say it's good, you're going to have haters. You're going to have people who be like, oh, that's stupid, or that's cringy, or that's this or that. But like I said before, nobody going to stop you. They going to talk a lot, but everybody talks a lot. Everybody has a mouth for a reason, right? But not everybody going to do what they talking about. I know you will, though. Peace out. Catch y'all next week. Love.